Something that's interesting here, like in the midst of all that's going on in Egghead and in Hachinosu, and even Winter Island. Let me ask you guys: do you guys think Oda at some point felt like he was done with Smoker? Because I don't understand why Smoker's in here. I like what's going on.
I think he's going to Egghead. He has Luffy's there, and he went straight there.
Is just
because like, it feels like everybody is like
saving him this long.
It's got to be Egghead.
I feel like him saving him this long means
he gotta be
plans for him.
Okay,
he still has plans for him.
Okay. We've talked about this before, but based on where we are in the final saga, the hands that we see being thrown, how realistically, how strong is Smoker going to be?
The Smoker,
I think he's going to be very powerful.
I agree.
I say like YC2,
I do
YC3.
As strong as Oda wants him to be.
He's gonna come back with like a Logia awakening.
I think his power is
he gonna block the same attack that just took Kid out if he needs to.
That's facts. That's facts.
That is true.
That's crazy.
I was thinking, you know how Smoker's ability, it doesn't like, you can't like throw a punch with smoke and it hits someone. He has to materialize his fist into a fist. It's not like Fire Fist where it burns. It doesn't do anything. It just catches people, right? I was thinking that because like you look at his fight with Virgo, when he tries to catch Virgo or whatever, Virgo's like, why are you spreading your body? I can just hit you with Haki. What if he awakens, just make smoke that isn't his body, and then he can just catch you with it, and you can't do anything about that.
Well, I was thinking that's a good idea. I was also thinking, what if he can make like smoke that you can't breathe in?
Like different types of smoke.
Yeah. So basically, smoke can kills, bro. So like, imagine fighting.
He becomes Caesar.
Somewhat
like Caesar.
Somewhat
you're
like Caesar.
A level of subtlety from Smoker that I'm
Caesar with hands.
I don't think it shouldn't be that crazy to manipulate the smoke, right? To make it that you can't breathe it in. Isn't that?
No, because I feel like that's something Caesar can do because of the nature of his ability and like his brain. But I don't think Smoker has
but the thing is, Ace has no knowledge about science. He made like fireflies, right? Like with fire and all that different shit. Like,
you guys are talking about his devil fruit. He's just gonna come back with 2 jits instead of.
Stop, bro. Stop. He just has 12 now.
No, he's just gonna come back with Conqueror's Haki at this point, honestly.
Oh my God, he is, bro.
Does he not have the personality for it?
Smoky Rumble.
He definitely has the
Smoker about to sell the craziest white blow ever, and it's gonna have King's Haki just coated all over.
He has the tricks for it. No, but seriously, the smoke capturing thing. He's a capturing guy. Like there's a magazine that come out with all the fruits like boa and Lucci and Smoker's one. It says it doesn't have the offensive capability to kill someone like fire, for example, but it's great at capturing people. That's what it does.
You know, the problem is that the problem with that power is only going to work against fodder.
Yeah, that's
what I'm saying. When it awakens, it'll be for high tiers because they won't be able to do anything about imaginary smoke.
But then does that mean he one shots like a Yonko Commander?
He would be able to, yeah.
I don't know about that.
That's a little bro.
Yes, you guys aren't ready. That
okay,
going to be disgusting.
That's a little broken.
Sure.
But
that's the point, though. He's going to be.
But I'm saying, but theory, like say that's like his main ability that he comes back with, right? And now he's fighting out Kiji, and you can't do the capture thing. Can you throw hands without Kiji?
He's got Sea Stone.
He does have Sea Stone.
Yeah, he got 2 now.
Yeah, Sea Stone versus Law.
Yeah, but Law wasn't awake with Law.
That was a bad matchup for the boys.
And he did almost get him. He did almost
catch him. He did almost get him.
Like most matchups are bad matchups if you fighting against Law.
No, but here's the thing, right? Law just basically, I dare say he low diffed Smoker back in the day, right? Look at how much.
I would say mid. I would say
it was mid. It was definitely mid.
I was mid.
He never touched
fight. It was a solid low.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why.
They got low.
Okay. Let me ask y'all. Can a fight be high diff without getting touched?
No.
Yes.
No.
But he didn't touch Law. He choke slammed him.
No, I can't.
I think so. Yes.
So let me ask y'all this, right? Say Luffy's fighting Caesar, right? And at the end of the fight, Luffy said, "Man, if one more second, I would have been done." Right?
It's high diff. Yeah.
Isn't that high diff?
Wait, what's the context?
Meaning,
you're saying you had a hard time.
Caesar took the he couldn't breathe. Luffy couldn't breathe, right?
Oh, okay.
And before Caesar could pass out,
I don't take that as a high diff fight.
What is that?
I don't think it's high diff. If the room was gonna explode and he only had 1 second to beat this guy because the room is gonna explode, that doesn't make the fight high diff.
See, but Brago, the thing is,
no, I'm saying
that's his ability though. That's his ability.
He was about to pass out.
But his ability just affected the room.
I think what Brago's getting at is like you can have difficulty like beating somebody.
That's what I'm saying.
Even
like
though they're not like
yeah, that's what it means.
Like for Law it wasn't a walk in the park against Smoker. Like he had to actually try.
Okay, so I'll give
then
you,
we talking about it one way.
Right?
I look at high diff going both ways. I'm sorry, my bad.
So my point, right? It was basically this. We've seen what Law has gone through to get to where he's at now. Do we think that Smoker has had a similar level of growth since the last time we saw him?
Definitely.
Yes, I think so.
He should. It would be dope if Smoker. What if Smoker was like training against a Seraphim?
Okay.
I mean, Luffy can't beat a Seraphim, so shit.
Yo, he's training against the Doflamingo Seraphim right now.
Hey, you know what?
Taking out his frustration. The Crocodile Seraphim, bro.
Yo, shit.
I couldn't do this in Alabasta.
There is the context. There is the context as well. That he's always had some sort of handicap post time skip as well. Like for example, against Virgo, he was fighting properly to try and get Law's heart back to repay a debt. Against Dofi, he didn't have his GT because Virgo broke it. That kind of thing. Against Luffy, he was in Tashigi's body.
What about against Law?
In Law's one, he literally won. He choke slammed him. He was about to C-stone him, but Law shambles out the way. Simple as that.
And then he
that's what I'm saying. So like,
but that's what I'm saying. Like the difficulty gotta go both ways. Like I set the difficulty based on what both fighters had to do. So in your Caesar example, if Caesar does one technique that he plans on stalling out Luffy for, right, and doesn't touch him one time, like he runs around or whatever, so Luffy's basically fighting for his life. Yeah, that's not a high diff fight because Luffy is trying to catch a nigga for 5 minutes because he can only breathe for that long.
You don't think so?
You know what I'm saying? You gotta equal it
because
out.
I'm thinking of
what
like
effort is Caesar putting into this fight? Like what is the fight for Caesar? It's not high.
It'd be high as well because Caesar has to outpace Luffy for a while.
No, he don't. He got to do one move.
If you get low diff, a fight then it's extreme diff for you because you tried it.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying?
So did Caesar low diff Luffy?
No, I'm not saying he low diff Luffy because he lost a fight.
I'm talking about in the fight they had.
Because if
like the first interaction where he used like the oxygen thing and deprived him.
The very first one.
Yes, in that first interaction, yes, he low diff Luffy.
Yeah, that was a low diff.
As embarrassing as it is to say.
My thing is like with difficulty of fights where we look at it like, man, if he's not like barely about to stand and like bruises all over his body, it's not high diff. But I think if you're in the fight and I know that like, man, like if that shit lasted one more second, I would have been done. I'd have been like, man, that's one of the...
But you know how many times niggas say that in fights and they be capped though? Like, so
No, but you know, an in-story example, I think that kind of goes to what you're saying, Brago, is when Katakuri was fighting Luffy and Luffy just kept dodging him in weird ways because he's rubber, right? And Katakuri was like, yeah, this shit is stressful as fuck. So I think it'd be a situation where, you know, of course he's dominating, but it's still not necessarily easy to tag Luffy or put him down. So in that instance, you could say it's like a mid diff because it was a high or mid.
I think high diff is not necessarily about how you are after. It's about how stressed you were during that fight.
He was pretty stressed.
If you think about it, if you think about Zoro's fights, he gets most of his wins off of
in one shot.
It's a one hit.
If you think of that out of context, a one shot would be a low diff or a no diff. But if you think about him struggling the entire time,
right,
consider the high diff.
Right.
You gotta consider the context.
Right.